If you're miserable and depressed and anxious, sit down, think about what you can be grateful for. Well, I can't be grateful for anything. I don't have a woman who loves me, and I don't have enough money. See what you're doing? You're thinking about all the negative stuff that you've thought about and given a lot of time and energy into, and that's what keeps you there. You stay in that frequency, the universe will provide a lot more of that. Because you're creating your reality. You are a powerful creator. Why don't you just lift it up? And the simplest way to do that is find something that you're grateful for. Can't you be grateful for the fact that you can get up and walk and other people can't? But we never think in those terms. That will raise your frequency. And watch how your life will change, little by little.
Someone treats you is a reflection of their capacity. It's not a reflection of your worth. And in fact, that's one of the greatest breakthroughs that we could ever have, is realizing that. If someone mistreats you or is unkind to you, it's never about you. It's really about them and their state. When you can really understand that, not only do you stop giving the other person so much power over your feelings and over your life and over your emotional state, but you also then learn how to let go. Make it less about you and understand that it's more about them. And then you can start to let go. And it's not even about forgiveness. It's literally getting to a place where you don't even have to forgive them anymore. You don't even have to forgive yourself. You can just see it for what it actually was. And then you are free.
That's when the true
self-care is when you decide to no longer pursue the attention of someone who isn't emotionally available to you. And it takes a lot of courage to do that. One of the bravest acts you can do is walk away from someone who you care about and who you have feelings for, who cannot meet your most basic needs, because you have to face the unknown. You have to face the fear that you might be alone, or it might take you a lot longer than what you're comfortable with to meet someone else. But one of the best decisions you will ever make for your overall well-being is to only engage in connections with people who, when you're around them, it feels really sweet to your nervous system, and you really always know where you stand with them.
the most toxic expectation women have of men, expecting him to relate to feelings the way a woman does. Men have a completely different relationship to feelings than women. They don't trust feelings. They trust facts. It's not how men operate. For a man, it's more about what he values, what he stands for, what facts he trusts. So instead of asking a man how he feels about something, ask him what he thinks. You can learn a lot more about a man if you ask what he thinks rather than what he feels, because he can relate to that word, thinks.
You have to let them leave. And what most people don't do is they don't do a 30-day no contact. And the reason why a 30-day no contact protocol is critical is because when somebody leaves you, they don't just physically leave you. All of the patterns that you learned when you were with them that are now encoded in your brain and your nervous system are still in your brain and your nervous system. And so the process of breaking up is really about unlearning what life was like with them. And that is a physical, a physiological, and a neurological withdrawal. Wow. And so, if you think about it, the reason why when you break up with somebody, you can hear their voice is because it's encoded in your brain. The reason why you have this sensation that they're next to you in bed or riding with you in the car and you can almost hear how they would respond is because they're encoded in your nervous system. These are the patterns of your life. It's the same thing as grief. And the problem is that too many of you are following this person, or you're rewatching the videos, or you're listening to the voice memos, and every time you do that, you actually trigger the pattern in your nervous system. And so for somebody that has not been able to get over somebody else, you have never done this 30-day withdrawal, where it's literally a cleanse. You have to remove physical objects, you have to take them, like when Sawyer and her boyfriend broke up, we took him right off the family photo digital thing because I
Yeah.
didn't want it triggering her. I would recommend you move your bed, or you get a different blanket. You give your bedroom a little makeover because you spent a lot of time there. You don't need to go psycho. You don't
Yeah.
need to burn
Yeah.
shit or go to the dump and, break shit. Don't do
That's
that.
me.
Why? Well, that gives somebody else power,
Yes.
right? And instead, put it in a box and get it out of sight
Yeah.
because any reminder keeps the pattern active, which will prevent you from moving on. It's a physical withdrawal.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about it like that. Do you think that the fact that you're still thinking about them 29 days later means that you're meant for each other? That's not what it means.
Right.
It means that your nervous system and your brain are trying to unlearn what life is like with this person. Get over yourself. Like, sorry,
Yeah.
there's and the more you look at this person's life from afar, the more you're trapping yourself in the life you no longer have. And this is harsh, but it's true. And if you ever even sneakily want to get back with this person, you have to break it off for 30 days so you find your power again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you can see with clear eyes. And I'm not saying it's easy,
No, it's not. It feels impossible.
but thinking about it like alcohol withdrawal or
Yeah.
thinking about it like grieving somebody that's dead,
Yeah.
that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Can't have a loving relationship with a narcissist. Love requires empathy, respect, and emotional safety. But narcissists aren't capable of that. They're selfish, they don't see you as an equal, and they lack empathy. To them, you're not a person. You're a tool, something to use to get validation, admiration, reassurance, power, and control. That's not love. It's a one-sided transaction. You can't.
3 things that torture narcissists. This is how to convince with Lawyer Vince. 1. Being ignored. Narcissists live for your attention, good or bad. When you stop engaging, you starve the very thing they rely on to feel important. Remember, silence is your secret weapon. 2. Watching you move on. They expect you to stay stuck chasing their approval. When they see you moving on without them, happy, peaceful, unbothered, it shatters the fantasy that they had control over you. 3. Seeing you become the person they tried to break. They attacked your confidence, your worth, your spirit, all to make you small. When you rise anyway, you prove that your power was never real. That truth cuts deeper than anything you could ever say. Their greatest punishment is watching you win without them. Share this video and give me a follow.
The constant stress of narcissistic abuse can be detrimental to your health. The stress your body goes through can give you many health problems, which could kill you. Your body is in constant stress from the abuse and repeated cycles of up and down. You could end up with high blood pressure, leading to other health problems, such as cardiovascular disease, heart attack, stroke, cancer, stomach issues, severe anxiety and depression. Narcissistic abuse is extremely stressful. It kills people. I ended up with high blood pressure, which was through the roof. Not only can it kill you with the high levels of stress, narcissists can push you to the point of suicide. If you are in this situation, it is so important you get help.
Want to know the number one thing that you can do to make a narcissist feel powerless? And bonus points, even more importantly, this is the exact thing that's going to help you heal. It's not yelling, it's not calling them out, it's not posting a cryptic quote on your Instagram story hoping that they'll see it. Plain and simple, it's disconnection. Quietly moving on, quietly choosing peace over proving a point. Narcissists feed on chaos. They need access to your emotions to feel powerful, whether it's love, hate, confusion, guilt. They will take anything as long as it keeps them relevant in your life. But when you go no contact, when you stop responding to their bait, when your glow up isn't for revenge, but for you, that is when they spiral, because they're not just losing you, they're losing control. Quiet, intentional, complete disconnection. Narcissists fear being irrelevant. They fear losing the ability to pull your strings. So when you stop explaining, when you stop responding, when you stop needing them to understand your side, you're no longer someone that they can control. And that's where their power crumbles. And here's the best part. That moment of silence that makes them spiral, it's the same moment where you finally start to feel peace. Healing can really only begin when you stop handing your energy over to somebody who only used it to hurt you. So yes, disconnection, going no contact, disempowers them, but more importantly, it empowers you. And I don't think that's petty at all. I think it's very powerful. Your silence, your peace, your indifference, those are all proof that you've taken your power back and that they can't reach you anymore.
Narcissists, they don't want you to know this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm a psychotherapist, and this is a clear sign that you're dealing with a narcissist, and in my opinion, it's one of the most obvious signs. Now, when you're with a narcissist, have you ever noticed how they always treat strangers better than what they treat you? In fact, they go above and beyond and seem to be someone completely different. Their reality of who they claim to be is very much not reality. You also notice that they tend to inflate what it is they bring to the table. They have a lot of exaggeration about who they are, what they've done, where they've been, what they can provide. And then to top it all off, they always seem to think that nothing they do is wrong, and you're the one that's always in the wrong. And if you don't understand or get where it is that they're coming from, you're the problem here. You see, narcissists, they're delusional. Their world is completely fake. It is so fabricated to protect their fragile ego, so they never have to face up to the account of who they truly are. They don't have to be accountable for anything they say or do or how they feel, because guess what? They live in a false reality. They are delusional. So one of the biggest signs that you're dealing with a narcissist is that they don't seem to be in the real world, and that is because their real world is completely fake.
A narcissist's favorite way to manipulate is to only acknowledge your reactions to a scenario, rather than their actions that cause the scenario to happen in the first place. A narcissist's favorite way to manipulate is to only acknowledge your reactions to a scenario, rather than their actions that cause the scenario to happen in the first place. A narcissist's favorite way to manipulate is to only acknowledge your reactions to a scenario, rather than their actions that cause the scenario to happen in the first place. A narcissist's favorite way to manipulate is to only acknowledge your reactions to a scenario, rather than their actions that cause the scenario to happen in the first place. A narcissist.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. Don't know where it goes, but it's home to me, and I walk alone. I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only one, and I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk up.
When a narcissist rejects you sexually, it's usually not about desire. It's about power. By withholding sex, they're not just saying no. They're saying, I decide when you feel wanted. If this is happening to you, it's not because you're not enough. It's because controlling your need for connection makes them feel powerful and in control. When a narcissist rejects you,
Er du i et forhold med en narcissist, men du er ikke klar til at gå, så er denne her video til dig. Du er ikke svag, fordi du bliver sammen med en narcissist eller et menneske med mange narcissistiske træk. Du er ikke naiv, du er bare menneskelig. Så lad mig prøve at give dig lidt råd til, hvad du rent faktisk kan gøre for at navigere allerbedst i en relation med en narcissist. Den første ting er, at du har virkelig brug for et anker. Og der mener jeg et anker til din virkelighed. For narcissister eller mennesker med meget udtalte narcissistiske træk, de har en tendens til at dreje og forvrænge virkeligheden. Så sørg for at skrive dine oplevelser ned, altså så du hele tiden grounder dig selv i det, der er faktisk virkelighed, og ikke det, den bliver lavet om til. Næste ting, du kan have opmærksomhed på, det er at stoppe med at forklare dine følelser. Fordi at jo flere følelser du deler, og jo mere du involverer narcissisten i, jo mere har han eller hun at vende imod dig. Det du kan gøre, det er at lade være med at give energi til deres drama. Narcissister, de trives i konflikt og kaos. Bliv i, nu siger jeg ro, det er lidt utopi at sige, men bliv i dig selv. Lad være med at gå med i den der dramatiske energi. En af de vigtigste ting, jeg vil sige til dig, det er, sammen med en narcissist, så bliver dit selvværd nedbrudt over tid. Måden du bliver talt til på, de bebrejdelser, der går din vej, hvordan du bliver gjort forkert og ikke god nok. Så derfor er det virkelig vigtigt, at du omgiver dig med mennesker, som også er med til at bygge dit selvværd op. Mit sidste råd til dig, det er at lave en plan for at gå, også selvom du ikke er klar til det nu, men så du har styr på bolig, økonomi, relationer, sikkerhed, tryghed. Så hvis du en dag skal gå, så har du planen for det. Og husk så, er du i et forhold med en narcissist, men du er ikke klar til at gå, så er denne her video til dig. Du er ikke svag, fordi du bliver sammen med en narcissist eller et menneske med mange narcissistiske træk. Du er ikke naiv, du er bare menneskelig. Så lad mig prøve at give dig lidt råd til, hvad du rent faktisk kan gøre for at navigere allerbedst i en relation med en narcissist. Den første ting er, at du har virkelig brug for et anker. Og der mener jeg et anker til din virkelighed. For narcissister eller mennesker med meget udtalte narcissistiske træk, de har en tendens til at dreje og forvrænge virkeligheden. Så sørg for at skrive dine oplevelser ned, altså så du hele tiden grounder dig selv i det, der er faktisk virkelighed, og ikke det, den bliver lavet om til. Næste ting, du kan have opmærksomhed på, det er at stoppe med at forklare dine følelser. Fordi at jo flere følelser du deler, og jo mere du involverer narcissisten i, jo mere har han eller hun at vende imod dig. Det du kan gøre, det er at lade være med at give energi til deres drama. Narcissister, de trives i konflikt og kaos. Bliv i, nu siger jeg ro, det er lidt utopi at sige, men bliv i dig selv. Lad være med at gå med i den der dramatiske energi. En af de vigtigste ting, jeg vil sige til dig, det er, sammen med en narcissist, så bliver dit selvværd nedbrudt over tid. Måden du bliver talt til på, de bebrejdelser, der går din vej, hvordan du bliver gjort forkert og ikke god nok. Så derfor er det virkelig vigtigt, at du omgiver dig med mennesker, som også er med til at bygge dit selvværd op. Mit sidste råd til dig, det er at lave en plan for at gå, også selvom du ikke er klar til det nu, men så du har styr på bolig, økonomi, relationer, sikkerhed, tryghed. Så hvis du en dag skal gå, så har du planen for det. Og husk så, du kan elske en narcissist, og du kan prøve at forstå en narcissist, men du kan aldrig redde en narcissist uden at miste dig selv i forsøget. Mit navn er Signe Næslein, og jeg er psykoterapeut. Og hos mig der kan du få terapiforløb, online-kurser og den fedeste uddannelse i følelsesmæssig intelligens. Følg med for redskaber, du kan bruge.
What happens when a narcissistic person can no longer control you? Narcissistic people have that grandiose sense of self-importance. They believe they're superior to you. They feel that they're entitled to get what they want from you. So when they begin to lose control of you is often when they will escalate their games in order to regain control. When you take the right steps to protect yourself from a narcissist, which is things such as remaining calm, avoiding feeding their ego, no longer engaging in their power struggles, responding to their silence by respecting their silence and responding with silence, distancing yourself from them. Narcissistic people take great offense to this because it denies them the ability to control and manipulate you to get their needs met by you, which is often why they will then double down on their behavior in order to get what they require from you. One of the first things they might do is simply act like nothing is happening, like nothing is wrong, and no matter how many times you try to tell them, it doesn't go in, it doesn't compute, because they just feel entitled to have you. They might begin to play nice and love bomb and spoil you to try and win you back on the side, to sell you an illusion that everything will be okay and they're going to be that person they claim themselves to be but turned out not to be. They might begin to future fake with you to sell you an illusion of something that could be in the future so that they get you back in the present, and then once they've got you back, their mistreatment of you gets worse and those false promises never come to fruition.
They might offer those false apologies. They might come and claim that they're going to change. They've seen the light. They've seen the error of their ways. The more you forgive a narcissist, the worse their behaviour gets. They might go all out to shift the blame because narcissistic people don't self-reflect. They don't take any form of responsibility. It's all your fault. They might threaten you with your home, your job, your car, your family. They might throw so many threats your way to put that fear into you so that you start to listen and do as they say. They might begin to fake illnesses or exaggerate illnesses in order to make you feel bad for daring to stand up to them. They're going to use an illness to guilt trip you for being yourself. They will smear your name and spread rumours because when they can no longer control you, they're going to go all out to control what other people think about you. They might begin to contact your friends and family, either to tell your friends and family what a terrible person you are, or to fake concern about you. Usually the rumours they've sold about you and they've destroyed your career, and then they're going to phone your friends and family and say, hey, how's so-and-so getting on? I'm ever so concerned. I've heard they've lost their job, and they're literally enjoying the information that their friends and that your friends and family are feeding to them. They might begin to just show up where you are, join your hobbies, join your running clubs, join your book clubs, join your football clubs. They might just start showing up randomly where you are like nothing happened, or showing up with a nice shiny new supply to try and provoke jealousy within you so that they can claim that you're the bitter and the jealous one, and that hide the fact that their behaviour is actually very selfish and they don't care about people, they just care about themselves. They might start to guilt trip you and try to pity play with you to make you feel bad so they can get their own way with you. They could potentially start court situations because you can't resolve anything with a narcissist unless it's going their way. And even when it's going their way, they like that little bit of drama in their life and the attention on them, which is why it's vital in a court situation to remain calm, to avoid feeding their ego, to no longer engage in the power struggles. Let the people in the courtroom do their work. When the narcissist isn't getting the validation that they're the poor abused person, the narcissist will reveal themselves in the courtroom. Very difficult, as more often than not the person who is being emotionally abused becomes emotionally reactive, and we do have to learn to get a hold of ourselves. Not easy, it is possible, and it is worth it. Remember, when dealing with a narcissist, you need to remain calm. You need to avoid feeding their ego. You need to avoid engaging in power struggles. Choose your battles wisely. If they choose to fall silent on you, respect it, remain silent towards them. And boundaries, distance yourself psychologically, physically, and emotionally from them so that you can start to live your life again.
Narcissists are extremely toxic lovers who never reciprocate anything in a relationship. In fact, here's 10 things that a narcissist will never give you. And if you're new here, my name is Randy. I'm a toxic abuse recovery coach. If you're serious about your healing journey, make sure to hit the follow button for more content just like this. 10 things a narcissist will not give you if you're in a relationship with them, starting with number 1. Love. Narcissists do not love in the same way healthy people love. They do not form healthy attachments or bonds. They have no empathy, no compassion, and they're completely dishonest. Narcissists only view love as a transaction. Number 2, honesty. Narcissists are pathological liars. Narcissistic abuse is all about deception. Narcissists are not honest at all. Number 3, a sincere apology. Narcissists don't think that they've ever done anything wrong, so narcissists don't apologize. And if they do apologize, it's only for manipulations. Because remember, an apology without changed behavior is just manipulation. Number 4, stability. Narcissists thrive off of chaos. They do everything they can to recreate the trauma and chaos of their childhood. They do not want security, peace, predictability. They only want chaos. Number 5, support. Narcissists do not support anybody except for themselves. Narcissists view everything as a hierarchy. So if they view that you're getting above them, they're not going to support you. They don't have anything to support. Narcissists are unsupportive. Number 6, respect. Narcissists don't respect anybody but themselves. Remember, narcissists love bomb and they idolize, and at that point you think they respect you, but it's only until they realize that you're not perfect. Once they view you as not perfect, they start to disrespect you, and the more times narcissists, the more disrespect you start to receive. Narcissists don't respect shit. Number 7, intimacy. Intimacy is all about connecting in a healthy manner. Emotional connection is intimacy. Narcissists don't connect on an intimate emotional level. They don't have the capacity. Number 8, loyalty. Narcissists are not loyal to anything or anyone ever. They are the most disloyal people walking the planet. Number 9, closure. Narcissists will never give you closure because it's a way for them to abuse you. It's a way for them to maintain emotional control over you. You'll never get closure from a narcissist. Besides that, what are they going to come say? Yeah, I abuse you. Narcissists see nothing wrong with their actions because they're professional victims. A narcissist can only be the hero or the victim, never the villain. And number 10, peace. Narcissists love chaos. They do not have any kind of peace in them. They don't want peace. They want the drama and the chaotic environment that they had when they were little boys and girls. Narcissists are nothing but little pathetic toddlers running around looking for emotional regulation. They do not reciprocate. Don't waste your time.
Ever notice how some narcissists have the strangest habits? Let's dive into 10 behaviors and how they might be secret red flags. And again, a quick disclosure, having a few of these traits doesn't mean you're necessarily dealing with a full-blown narcissist, but the pattern of control is something that I want you guys to look out for. Small things can add up, so if your gut is screaming at you, paying attention really might save you a lot of heartbreak later on. Number 1, the road rage, the fast driving when you're in the car with them. I put too much of this. They will barrel through traffic. They'll slam on the brakes for no reason. And it's less about speed and more about testing your limits and making you feel off balance. Number 2, giving you the silent treatment that lasts days. One day it's all compliments. It's all about sunshine. And the next it's total radio silence. They know that you'll chase after them to break the silence and prove that you still care. Number 3, never helping around the house. They will let dishes pile up. They'll ignore your struggle with the chores. And if you ask for help, they meet you with a shrug. They give you an excuse. And it's a subtle way to remind you that your needs come second to them. Number 4, being emotionally unavailable. They will dodge serious conversations. They'll act bored when you share feelings. And they'll turn every serious talk into a joke. This is another tactic to keep you off balance and to keep wondering if you're too needy. Number 5, being extremely frugal or extremely spendy. So they'll guilt you for ordering coffee. They'll complain about splitting a very small bill. And at first it seems like they're just, being careful with their money, but it quickly turns into control over how much you spend, where you go. Number 6, they are always on the phone scrolling social media. And I know a lot of us can be guilty of this, so take this one with a grain of salt. But if you notice that they're always glued to the screen, double tapping, scrolling, needing that external validation, even when you're talking, it really sends a clear message that you're not as interesting as whatever feed they're watching. Number 7, keeping score of every single favor. They'll make a mental tally of things that they do for you, and then they'll pull it out later when they need leverage. Remember when I covered your rent for a week? Suddenly you owe them everything. Number 8 is these random mood flips. One minute they praise you, the next they're criticizing you out of nowhere. There is no consistency, which keeps you anxious, and it also keeps you eager to please. Number 9, the over-the-top flattery at first and then dropping it suddenly. So a lot of the love bombing, right? They'll gush about how amazing you are until they start to think that you really care, and then it's radio silence, it's coldness, and it's meant to keep you hooked on those highs. Number 10, monitoring what you wear or who you see for your own good. They'll claim that they're just looking out for you, but really, this is all to assert power. Saying, you know, that outfit is too revealing, or why'd you text that person? These are all very subtle power plays. Noticing these habits is really the first step in taking back that control. You deserve respect. You deserve consistency. You do not deserve mind games and having to guess how somebody's feeling all the time. So trust your instincts, set boundaries so you can protect your peace.
A narcissist won't fight to keep you. They'll fight to protect how people see them. They don't care about the people who love them. They care about their image. They'll lie to make you look like the problem just so they still look good to others. They'll hurt you and then act like you were the one who did them wrong. And when you finally speak up, they'll call it betrayal. The best thing you can do is to stop explaining yourself and just walk away. Let them choke on their own lies.
Møgvejr i april og maj har betydet, at vi har solgt 0 shorts. Derfor, kære venner, Mirko Brunde Simonsen her, I skal komme og hjælpe os med at tømme varelageret. Vi har alt for mange shorts på lager, og vi har et kæmpe udvalg fra small og helt...
Narcissist won't fight to keep you. They'll fight to protect how...
Have been asking when would the narcissist end come. When you see them move on, as if nothing ever happened between the two of you, it cuts your wound so deep, especially when they have discarded you. So today I want to talk about when or how does the narcissist becomes depleted. This is before the vow. My name is Adwa. The narcissist will only deteriorate when their supply runs dry. Anything that cuts them off their supply makes them become depleted or deteriorated. If I say anything, I mean your patience, anxiety, low self-esteem, your reaction, your love, even your tears. So when the narcissist is not seeing all this, it puts them in a state of desperation, wanting to go back to normal. Their state of normalcy is feeding on anything that affects you. When the supply is cut off, it's like cutting off the fuel that burns out to keep them glowing. Another way that can make the narcissist depleted is when you are glowing. Glowing is an important part of your recovery. When you are able to re-establish your value, staying true to who you are, what you are about, and the things that are important to you makes you re-establish. When the narcissist sees that you are glowing in a way that you created, it sends them a message that you can live without them. And that affects their ego. That is why they try so many ways for you to become dependent on them, so that no matter what, you will still have to live under their care for them to gain the supply. And the more they gain the supply, they will rather be glowing and you will feel depleted. And again, the narcissist begins to panic when they see that you are at peace with yourself. Peace is freedom. When you're not seeking their validation, when you're not seeking love. Peace is freedom. When you're not seeking their validation, when you're not seeking their attention, when you're not giving them the supply that they need, you find peace within. It will help you to grow. It will help you to become who you are once again. And that is what the narcissist does not like. And anything that they don't like deteriorates them. So keep your peace within and don't chase the narcissist. Don't ask about them from people, because they will definitely get to hear that you are still struggling, and that is not going to make them depleted. And finally, when their new supply is not able to measure up to your standard, when they are not getting what they require from the new supply, it will make them miss you. If you give them the chance, that is when they will bounce back and act nice for the time being and go back again to how they treated you before. So when you see that the narcissist is depleted, they abandoned you for someone else, that person is not reacting the way you used to react. That person is not giving them the attention that they got from you, and that is going to cause them to deplete. As the narcissist ages, people will get to know who they really are, the mask that they wore in public, and no one will be able to tolerate them. So they will deteriorate because what fed them and made them glow is no more there. So leave everything for karma to take over and move on with your life peacefully so that you'll be able to enjoy the things that God has in store for you.
A narcissist doesn't feel sad when you leave them. They feel angry, rejected, or offended because their supply is gone. What hurts them isn't losing you. It's losing the attention, admiration, or comfort you provided. They'll promise you the world to get you to come back. But the second you do, they'll go right back to their narcissistic ways. So they might act sad, but it's not about love, regret, or desire to change. It's about missing what they got from you. A narcissist doesn't feel sad